All right, ladies and gentlemen, the boys are back. Welcome back to another edition of the Fat Katz Podcast. We're going to call this one, Cam, not just episode 55, but the post-Mother's Day pod.
Yeah.
So happy to be back. As you can tell, Cam has a rainy background because it is raining here in North Carolina right now. And since we had the Northern Lights last couple of days, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking northern and lightsy out here and on Fayetteville Street in Raleigh, North Carolina. But anyway, Cam, episode 55, the Fat Cats are back. How are you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm living the dream, man. I don't feel great today. I'm a little bit.
Uh-oh.
We got a little bit of maybe a Jordan flu game for your boy today, but getting through it. First of all, happy Mother's Day to all the great mothers out there. You know, my grandmothers and my mom and all my aunts out
So
there.
what'd y'all do for Mother's Day? What was the
Gigi and Aunt Lisa, my mom's sister, their family came down and we just enjoyed Mother's Day together.
what was the Mother's Day meal?
We got catered by an Italian spot out here in
Interesting.
Charlotte
Okay.
that we like. But it was a good Mother's Day. It was good to see everybody. Do you want to throw a congrats out real quick to the two loyal listeners? Kevin, our boy Kevin graduated from Western Carolina last weekend.
Congratulations, Kevin.
El Spring graduated from Wingate. So
Mr. Spring, congratulations, brother.
yeah, so happy for those guys. Ward, I know you have a big shout out to give out, so I'm gonna leave you with that one.
I do have a big shout out. It is my old lady Madison's 24th birthday tomorrow, Cam. So I took off work, and that's why there will be no podcasting doing tomorrow because I will get in trouble if I podcast tomorrow because the girl's birthday. And boy, let me tell you, it is like a full plate of activities she has planned for me tomorrow. We are waking up in the morning. Women love brunch. I should put brunch as my pet peeve of the week because there's nothing I hate more than brunch. Because I'm a breakfast and a lunch kind of guy. I don't like to mix them. I like my 3 meals a day. I don't like brunch and then dinner. I get hungry.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Bottomless mimosas, though.
Well, yeah, I'm not really that big of a mimosa guy either, but I guess tomorrow I'll suck it up. But yeah, we're waking up. We're going to brunch. And then I guess she wants to go get lunch. So I guess it's a lot of eating. And then we're going to drink some. Well, I'm gonna drink whiskey. She's gonna drink margaritas. We're gonna eat steak tomorrow night, Cam. So
there you go.
Be a good way to bring in the birthday. And oh yeah, Mother's Day. We're talking about food. Mother's Day plate for me this year, Cam. Standing rib roast. I cooked the standing rib roast for my family.
Okay.
Never done one before. Standing rib roast is prime rib, but with bones in it. And cooked it in the oven at 250 degrees for 4 hours with a rub all over it. And then I usually cook meat like this on a smoker, and then I pulled it out of the oven, cranked the oven up to 500 degrees, put that piece of meat back in there, let it get real hot for about 12 minutes, and boy, we put a hurting on it. So
I'll tell you what, man, you're making me feel some type of way just talking about it.
Oh yeah, me and you both, my friend. It is all gone. There's no more leftovers. I can tell you that.
I believe it. But again, happy Mother's Day to all you guys out there. It's a man's world, but we wouldn't be nothing without women.
No, it wouldn't be nothing without the women.
Somebody said that.
The women is the glue that holds this world together. So
for sure.
Thank you guys for everything.
Yeah, very happy birthday to Madison. Probably our most loyal listener. I think she listens to it twice sometimes when listening to us back and forth and then watching it again. But shout out to everybody that we gave shout outs to. Before we get into it, want to remind you guys, find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Find us on TikTok and Instagram at Fat Katz Pod. Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you guys think. Everything. It means a lot to us. Everybody that does it and everybody that will do it. Click the links in our bio if you want any merch. And Ward, we start off every show with the segment we called First Favorite Forgotten. The episode number goes with the jersey number. So the first player to come to mind that wore 55, your favorite number 55, somebody who is forgotten or doesn't get enough respect. That wore 55. Go ahead, tee us off, Ward.
This big 55 is an amazing number.
Legendary, somewhat so.
Legendary number, because there's been some absolute legends to wear this number. I know that this number is retired at a few places. It should be retired at a few more places. But anyway, Cam, first 55 that comes to mind, you go on South Main Street in Wake Forest, North Carolina. There's a brick school by the name of Wake Forest Middle School. And there used to be a goblin by the name of Ward Sewell that walked those halls in 2012 to 2011 or no 2012 to 2014. And when Ward Sewell was there, he wore number 55 and played guard and middle linebacker. So that's the first 55 that came to mind. Middle school.
I love it. I think this is the second Ward Sewell shout out we've gotten on First Favorite Forgotten, by the way.
A lot of
Uh,
numbers.
but my first, I'm going a little bit of a different route here. Same position. Some would say that Ward may have been a better football player than this guy, but Junior Seau was the first 55 that came to my mind. Had a Chargers Junior Seau jersey when I was growing up. My dad taught me about Junior Seau when I played middle linebacker for 1 year when I was athletic enough to play it. Uh, but yeah, Junior Seau was my first 55 that came to mind.
Junior Seau was a dog back in the day. And Cam, I know I said this last week and I was wrong. This week I think I'm right. Junior Seau did pass away, correct?
Yes, yes, he
Okay,
did.
this one I'm right about. R.I.P. Junior
We we
Seau.
we skimmed over that. A lot of people texted me saying how funny it was that you basically killed Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, I know. I got Brandon Marshall and the other guy mixed up, but I guess that not too many good Broncos receivers. But anyway, yeah, moving forward, next 55 that comes to mind is another linebacker, another stud. You know, linebacker has to be some of the grittiest people on the football field, Cam, and they usually get the number 55. But anyway, Cam, this guy, former Redskin slash football team player, Flash Commander. He was there for all three. And now he is wearing the black and gold in the Steel City, unfortunately. One of my favorite commanders to ever wear the burgundy and gold, Cam Cole Holcomb. Even
I
though this
love it.
guy is a Chapel Hill guy, he was a stud for my commanders. So Cole Holcomb, favorite 55.
Yeah, and he was awesome last year until he got hurt. That's always been his problem, staying on the
No,
field. He's always been great. But hopefully he gets back healthy and adds to what might be the best linebacker, rotation in the NFL. But Cole Holcomb, great pull there.
no.
My favorite 55, and if you know me, this was probably a layup. Hence the joke. You guys will get it. White chocolate. Jay Will, Jason Williams is my favorite 55, 455 for the Kings, and I believe also the Heat when he won a championship. But if you don't know, white chocolate from West Virginia, a guy I always loved. So white chocolate, Jay Will is my favorite 55.
Cam, I love it, brother. And I'm
Went
going,
to went to high school with Randy Moss, by the way. I don't know if I'm sure a lot of people know that, but if you didn't, him and Randy Moss played football and basketball together in high school in West Virginia.
cool story. And there's so many guys I feel like we're leaving out that wore 55 too, or that wears 55 too. I believe, top of my head, Logan Wilson, Cincinnati Bengals wears
Yep.
55 correctly. That's what I thought. That's another stud linebacker I missed out. But Cam, I couldn't throw these guys over this guy. So, there's a guy I know very well that once wore 55. He ended up
Yep.
switching to an ugly 70s number. But at one point he was cool and he wore 55. This guy, he's been a Kentucky boy, he's been a West Virginia boy, he's been a Tennessee boy. Funny story enough. He lived in Nashville at one point, but and then he resides now in Charlotte. Cam, he went to a school that unfortunately did beat my school in like 2009 in the state championship. And this guy's name's Cam Taylor. And Cam Taylor, when he was 14 years old, wore the number 55, and boy, he looked good doing it too. So Cam Taylor, not just forgotten, but favorite 55 as well.
There we go. I've never heard of this cat, man. You have to enlighten me on his game. But yeah, man, 55. I liked 55 a lot better than 75. But
What the
you passed this.
55? The
You
55? Did they? What'd you switch for? What was the reason?
Well, I mean, it was a large, and once you pass that 300, you pass that 300-pound threshold in Adidas jerseys. By the way, if you've never worn an Adidas jersey, like you can't breathe in them almost. So you go from a large to a 2X from 55 to 75. So it was a business decision. I
I,
liked 55 way better.
I am not gonna lie. I was not gonna bring that up. I didn't want to be the guy to ask if the jersey couldn't fit anymore. That's why you moved. But I was thinking it, Cam.
Dude, I was probably 260 when I was a freshman, and it was tight then. And I put on a few LBs in between freshman and sophomore year, and
That
it wasn't going to work.
that's hilarious, man. That's
But
hilarious.
I've got two forgottens today. My first forgotten is, a guy I should hate, but I don't. I love him. Terrell Suggs, T Sizzle, played for the Ravens for a long time, most of my childhood. Ball so hard university. One of the best edge rushers in the NFL at that time, and T Sizzle was my first forgotten. And then also a guy that I don't think people even know he played for this team. A lot of people, Joe Johnson, ISO Joe, wore 55, his last season in the NBA for the Boston Celtics. So those are my two forgottens.
There's so many people that wear 55, Cam. It's hard. I know we're forgetting somebody so bad right now, and we're going to get roasted for this in the comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever 55 that we are forgetting, please let us know
For sure.
because,
And we'll have an opportunity to make it up when we get to 155.
yeah.
Because
How are
we'll
we
have
going
to
to do? Have we thought about that? Are we going to redo it or?
yeah, we're just going to filter back through.
Okay.
Hey,
Cool.
we'll just have to go back and listen to every episode and make sure we
Yeah.
don't
Make
repeat.
sure we don't repeat. Perfect.
Which when we get in the 40s and the 60s, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Ward, we got weekly game balls going out, 2 apiece. I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first.
Dude, first game ball, Cam, is my balls is hot. Mr. Derek Lewis, USA in this hoe. I don't know if anybody watched the UFC Fight Night on Saturday night at I watched it right after the Canes game. Canes game ended around 9. UFC Fight Night started, or the Derek Lewis fight was at 9:30. Derek Lewis comes out, not gonna lie, I bet against the Black Beast. I was on a betting frenzy. I won a few Saturdays. So I was like, I'm feeling confident. I'm a bet here. I think he's going to lose. Oh boy, he proved me wrong. And he did not only prove me wrong. He knocked this guy out. It's a Brazilian guy I've never heard of. It was like 12-1. Knocked him out. First, he took his pants off. Then he took his cup out. He threw his cup to the fans, and then the guy was knocked out, and Derek Lewis grabbed his pants and was cooling him down. The guy was hot, so Derek Lewis had to cool him down, and then it was a little loud where I was, so I did not get to quite hear what his post fight press conference or the post fight speech was. Cam, I don't know if you're gonna like me on that, but Derek Lewis.
Yeah, there was a USA in this hoe.
Okay.
It was on ESPN, so they had to it was on a delay, so they bleeped out part of it. But it was a lot. I mean, it was vintage Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
It was a Derek Lewis fight. He just was leaning on a guy and throwing haymakers, and one landed.
And he landed one.
That's
So
all it takes with
now,
that guy.
so now, how long before they make the fight? Cam, kind of jumping a little bit. Derek Lewis, and then what's the guy's name? The African guy that Francis Ngannou. He was Rosenstrike.
Yeah, Rosenstrike.
How long before they make that fight? Derek Lewis and Rosenstrike.
I think Rosenstrike fights in a couple weeks, so the timelines would make sense.
Yeah.
Man, Rosenstrike was on a run there for a little bit.
He was. And then Francis Ngannou put that fire out quick.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think Rosenstrike wants Derek Lewis, bro. Like, that's a different level of guy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know, man.
I was so happy to see Derek get a win. It feels like it's been Curtis Blade since his last win. Is that his last win?
No, he beat no, he just knocked somebody out with a flying knee.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, but no, after that, yeah, it was bad there for a while. But hey, man, people forget this about the most scary heavyweight ever, Francis Ngannou. Guess who beat Francis Ngannou?
Yeah, in the most boring fight in UFC history, by the way. I think what was it, 17 strikes?
Wasn't many.
Landed.
The boys went to decision, I can tell you that.
I did think that Derek Lewis, I thought it was over for him when Ty knocked him out. When Ty Tuivasa got him, I was like, this is the end. But hey, starting to come back again. My first game ball, and I feel like I've given this guy a game ball a gazillion times, but Reed Shepard's getting my game ball, man. He went to the combine yesterday and posted the highest vertical out of anybody. Hit a 42-inch vertical award. And, for just some kid from London, Kentucky, man, you don't really hear about that. A lot of people, I mean, you have a 42-inch vertical, you'd think the scouting report would say freak athlete.
Yeah.
Don't think I've seen Reed Shepard have a freak athlete thing on his scouting report. What's up?
Got a question, Cam. What isn't there a movie out there that
I think it goes by White
Man Can't Jump, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
he's asking, brother.
He's breaking barriers, man.
He's breaking barriers. Hey, good for Reed Shepard. But
who would have thought, Ward, that Jeff Shepard's kid would have jumped higher than LeBron James's kid?
Crazy to think about, right?
Who would have thought?
Or yeah. Anyway, Cam, moving forward. Next game ball, Carolina Hurricanes. Cam, I'm a big bandwagon, big handwagon or game puck. There we go. Big bandwagon Hurricanes fan during the playoffs. But we're in the Eastern Conference semifinals right now. The boys were down 3-0. They come out Saturday. What do, Cam? They whoop the Rangers' ass. Yep. We come out on Tuesday, Cam, Monday last night, and we didn't just whoop their ass, Cam. We scored 4 goals in the third period, just like we did when me and you were there. And we are now down 3-2. Game 6 in Raleigh Thursday night. The tickets are very expensive, so the Fat Cats will not be there, but the Fat Cats will be watching. So Carolina Hurricanes weekly game puck goes to you, and Rob Brendamore, keep coaching the boys up.
Like it. My last game ball is going to Rory. I put this down before the news broke that he's getting divorced today, so maybe not a weekly game ball anymore. But Rory shot 17 under at Quail Hollow last week here in Charlotte, so felt like
Rory also had a stretch, Cam, that I saw this for 8 holes. He went 8 under.
That's crazy.
On Saturday or on Sunday, it was the first 8 holes on the back 9, or it was an 8-hole stretch. I can't remember, where he eagled one of the holes and he parred one of the holes, and then he birdied the rest.
That's crazy.
Crazy to think about.
Could you imagine, like you would never hear the end of it if I did something like that.
Yeah, you're telling me, buddy.
I don't think it's in my cards, but but as we move onward, one of the funnier stories, and we usually start off kind of serious, but there's a hilarious story that I want to go over. There's a media member. He's been in the media for as long as I can remember. He works at Fox now for Fox Sports, but his name is Doug Gottlieb. He's one of the worst media personalities in college basketball, and there's no other way to put it. But today he got hired on to be the head coach of the Green Bay Phoenix, a Division I basketball team, and he'll be coaching Green Bay during the season, but also during the season and year round. He's going to continue to do his daily show on Fox Sports, Ward. So, one, can you believe
a bit of a conflict of interest there, but
yeah, like what can he talk about? You know what I mean? Like you're in season, he's spending an hour and a half a day, 2 hours a day, not game plan, and he's talking on the radio. So I don't know. What do you think about hiring a media guy who I think he played at Notre Dame? I don't know his coaching history, to be completely honest with you, but a guy who's been in media for at least 15 years. What do you think about hiring him as your new head coach?
I will say, Doug Gottlieb. I cannot pronounce his name, Cam. That's a hard one, but he's doing something right, Cam. I can tell you what. I think most media guys, as much as they critique coaches, they think they can do better than the coaches. So I think old Big Doug's about to find out what he's all made or what he's made of. But yeah, I've never heard of this Green Bay team. I'm not gonna lie, but if he's able to make a run, and we'll see, man. It might be the secret to success. He might start a new trend.
Yeah, I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
We got week 1 schedules. The schedule release for the NFL, by the way, Ward, is tomorrow, I believe. But we did get a little sneak peek. Chiefs Ravens week 1, which will be a super fun matchup, and then Chiefs Bengals week 2. 2 of the best teams in the AFC North. Yeah. I think maybe another team might be better than those teams, but Chiefs getting a tough week 1.
Yeah, dude, and I feel like too the Chiefs have hosted. So obviously the Chiefs versus Ravens. They are opening up on Thursday Night Football. They're opening the NFL season up. I feel like the Chiefs have opened up the NFL season. I know they did against the Lions last year. 2 years ago, they did against the Bills. 3 years ago, against the Bucks. The Chiefs are they are the face of the NFL, if you can't tell, by opening up every year. But no, this is pretty cool. Them Ravens week 1, we're really going to find out what the AFC is all about, because these are the 2 top teams in the AFC. So and they give them the Bengals week 2. I don't know. I feel like the NFL has it out for the Chiefs, man. But very excited to. I'm a football fan, so any football fans are going to like these matchups. So excited to see what's next.
Yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait for football. By the way, like I'm so excited. But Ward, keeping it in football, a little bit off the field here. Your boy Dan Quinn, new coach of the Washington Commanders, has found himself in quite a controversy here for some reason. If you haven't seen, Dan Quinn in a press conference wore a shirt with the Washington Commanders W logo on it, but also the feather hanging off the W.
The Redskin feather.
Awesome shirt if you haven't seen it. Like, it's a very cool shirt.
Yeah.
But apparently there's been some controversy that he didn't it's not team issued, like it's not a team issued shirt. But apparently there's a big deal now that he went over the franchise's head by doing that, and there are people upset about it. Ward, what's your thoughts? I don't think this deserves to be a controversy, but it's too funny.
I don't think it deserves to be a controversy at all. I know we were talking about it earlier. Adam Schefter had some stuff to say about it, but if you actually
I don't know if it was him for sure. I don't want to say it.
If you go on our fan pages, everybody loves the shirt. They actually just started selling the shirt this morning at 8 a.m. and it's sold out before 1 p.m. today. So So whoever marketing wise, somebody did a really good job. But at the end of the day, Cam, Dan Quinn's one of us, brother. Coach DQ's one of us.
Yeah, I like the shirt. I will go
Yeah,
on record. I think it's cool to bring back like, you know, take the new logo, implement some old like throwback stuff. I think it's cool. But
yeah,
it is hilarious. I mean, in this day and age, how upset people can get over a t-shirt.
yeah.
Um, but keeping it in the NFL real quick, we had some guys get paid. Jared Goff got 4 years, $212 million award, and then Antoine Winfield becomes the highest paid defensive back in NFL at 4 years, 84.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Great for Antoine Winfield. I want to talk about Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Every quarterback in America saw that and was like, "This is the best thing ever."
Oh yeah.
Dak Prescott's going to get paid $60 million.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that's the Dak Prescott's the first person I thought of when they saw that. But at the end of the day, Jared Goff took a team that's been nothing for the last 30 years and took them to an took them to an NFC championship this year. They should have been in the Super Bowl. They were up 28 points or whatever at one point. But no, man, I think that just shows for any quarterback that wants to go to a team that hasn't been there in a while, if you show any success, you're going to get paid. So work your ass off and the money's going to come. All that track. I'm happy for Jared Goff. I think they gave him a lot of money, but shout out to his agent because his agent got
Yeah,
paid as well on this. But no, man, this is what you have to pay a quarterback right now. If you want to keep a successful quarterback, you are going to have to pay them $50+ million a year.
crazy. I mean, 50 M's. Respect. I like
Yeah.
Jared Goff. I think he's a
I
solid
promise you,
quarterback.
Cam, if Russell Wilson comes out and balls out this year, y'all are going to pay him. I guarantee it. You have to pay quarterbacks. I know you don't want to.
Yeah,
If Russell Wilson takes y'all to, I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. If you guys win a playoff game this year with Russell Wilson, they will give him some money. I don't know if it's going to be 200 mil, but it's going to be maybe 180,
yeah.
170. They're going to pay him.
50 M's a year though for Jared Goff is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's a good quarterback, but
Dude, statistically, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL last year. Over the
for
last
sure.
2 years, he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe I'm biased. To me, there's like three guys in the world that deserve $50 million a year to play
It's
quarterback.
going to be a very common thing here soon, my friend.
For
Everybody's going to
sure.
make 50 mil.
For sure. Speaking of making millions of dollars, Ward, NIL, college kids can make money now, which is great. Awesome. There's a kid, Ward, Utah Valley transfer, big man. His name is Great Osibor. He signed with Washington on the West Coast to play basketball for him. I want you to guess how much his NIL deal was worth.
To go to Washington, basketball, a mil a year,
Uh,
5 mil a year.
$2 million a year.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of money. That's Caleb Williams money, my friend.
Dude, for a Utah, respectfully, a Utah State transfer.
Yeah.
I just
I
thought,
didn't
I
even know
mean,
Washington had, I mean, I knew they had a basketball team, but I know they've been relevant in basketball. I couldn't tell you
I,
anything about Washington basketball.
I don't think they are, which is even the crazier thing. But they had a donor who said, "I want this kid in Washington. I'll pay whatever it takes." He's the highest paid player in the NIL era, regardless of sport. Great Osibor. Shout out to you, man. But $2 million for Utah State transfer. I
Yeah.
never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah.
Um, but Ward, one of the biggest stories in sports right now is Bronny James. Bronny James, if you don't know, has decided to stay in the NBA draft. Now we're talking about a guy, Ward, who was the eighth best player on a sub 500 Southern Cal team.
Yeah.
Um, One, do you think it's a good thing for him to stay in the draft? And two, if you're GM, would you draft him and like at what range would you draft him at? Like first round, second round, anywhere in there? Would you draft Bronny James?
So Cam, I have a weird feeling, and I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. So I watch ESPN every morning, and last night, first time, LeBron James' first time was in Cleveland since he left as a spectator was last night. You don't just go to a game for no reason, Cam. You don't just go and sit courtside at a playoff game for no reason just to watch the game when you're not retired. So that piques my interest a little bit. And right now, Cleveland is the betting favorite to draft Bronny James. LeBron James becomes an unrestricted free agent after this year, or he can opt out of his 5th year contract or whatever and become a agent or a free agent after this year. So Weird feeling. If I had to bet right now, I think there's a chance that with a second-round pick that the Cleveland Cavaliers take Bronny James, and when Bron James comes home, plays 2 years in Cleveland, and retires a Cavalier. So that's my little side take from it. But Cam, don't want to bring this up, but something I wanted to mention on the pod. According to Albert Breer is a senior NFL reporter. He tweeted out today, so he posted a video of Bronny James doing his vertical jump. Bronny jumped 40.5 inches with a three-step or three with momentum going forward. And Albert said, not to reopen the basketball argument, but there were 14 guys at the NFL Combine this year that jumped 40.5 inches or higher, or 40.5 inches or better from a standing position with not being allowed to take a single step. So not sure, not wanting to bring that argument up again, but yeah, it was very, very interesting about the athleticism that football players can't play basketball.
Yeah, I mean, not to rehash that, but I think we made our point very clear. I don't think athleticism is the problem.
Yeah.
When it comes to NBA, NFL, football, basketball, it's the mindset, it's the grind of it. And if you haven't seen Chris Long, who played in the NFL for like 12 years, 13 years, he went off on a tangent on it. He put it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like talking about, the games wouldn't be the problem. It's camp, getting through practice is going to be the problem. Because first drill, like he said, in camp is inside run.
Yeah.
That's where you find out
that's where the men get separated from the boys.
Yeah. Inside run and blitz pickup is where you find out who loves football and who's there to put a jersey.
Yeah.
But on Bronny James, you're not drafting Bronny James. You're drafting the hopes of 2 years of LeBron James.
Yeah. But no, Kim, I would not draft him. I didn't answer your question. I'm sorry. As an NBA GM, I wouldn't draft him.
If you're a contender, why draft him? You're just adding a guy who will probably just set your franchise back once he leaves. Now, if you're a team who needs the tickets, so if you're Chicago, you're not really looking to contend. You want to sell tickets for 2 years. Yeah, draft Bronny James.
Yeah.
But if you're a contender, it makes no sense to me.
Charlotte would be the one to draft.
Yeah, Charlotte. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers used a pick on him just to keep LeBron there.
Keep LeBron, yeah.
But we did have the lottery results as well, Ward. Two things that I noticed. Atlanta had a 3% chance to win the lottery, and they slid all the way up to number one, which is crazy. And then for the second year in a row, the Detroit Pistons had the best odds going into the lottery and slid all the way down to 5.
Yeah, and the damn Hornets slid to 9. And the Hornets have sucked since we have come out of the wound, Cam. Since we have come out, the Hornets have been awful. And they somehow get the 9th pick, and they have the second worst. I don't know.
Hey, the lottery is crazy, man. That can make you – in this draft class, I think I've said it, every insider said this is one of the worst draft classes in our lifetime.
Yeah. What about the Spurs? What pick they get?
I think they got 3 or 4.
If Wemby was that damn good, they wouldn't have a top 5 pick. But you're going on narratives now. You're hoping that this bust thing works out, and I'm telling you, Wemby's not a bust. He's pretty good.
Look out for Reed Shepherd and Robert Dillingham. One of them's going to be a Spur. And
watch out for DJ Burns.
We're getting off topic. Can we talk about Reed Shepherd, Robert Dillingham? Both played for Kentucky last year. Both projected to be top 5 picks. They started a combined 4 games. Some would call that coaching malpractice.
No,
just say. Enjoy it in Fayetteville. But Ward, playoffs are in full effect, full swing. We've got 3 of the 4 series tied at 2-2. Boston obviously has the upper hand on Cleveland right now. They went up 3-1 last night. Do you have any thoughts on the Boston's Cavs series besides Donovan Mitchell not playing last night?
Dude, Boston won by 6 points last night, 7 points, and it's their closest it's their lowest victory margin. It's the closest game they've won all year, which is insane to me. But no, man, this Boston team, outside of one hiccup game, they've looked pretty good. I think the Cavs are shorthanded right now too. Jared Allen has been out with, I think, a bone bruise or something like that, or rib bruise or something. Jared Allen's a key player for them. So yeah, man, I do see. I think the Celtics take this in 5, and really curious to see how the East plays out in the Eastern Conference Championship.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it. Pacers, Knicks play tonight. Their series is
Yeah,
tied
that
2-2.
game had no. There's no. I have no idea where that series is going.
Yeah, I mean, Pacers get 2 blowout victories at home.
Yeah.
The Knicks obviously won the 2 at the Garden. Going back to the Garden tonight, Ward, who do you think gives, assuming Boston doesn't blow a 3-1 lead, who do you think of the Pacers and the Knicks gives Boston the biggest fight in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Who wins on the road, Cam? I think
Yeah,
whoever wins on the road wins that series. But who gives them a bigger fight? I to be honest with you, I know much or I know a lot more about New York than I do about Indianapolis. It's just I know they have that Hiberton guy on the pay
Halliburton.
Halliburton. That's pretty good. But other than that, yeah, I don't know, man. You're the basketball guy, not me.
Yeah, I like the Knicks, man. You say you got to win a road game. If you're the Knicks, you just
Yeah,
got to win at home every game.
yeah,
Because they have home court, obviously. I think the Knicks could muck it up against Boston. I don't see the Pacers beating Boston.
no.
I could see the Knicks taking it to 7 and having a fighter's
I
chance.
just wanted the only reason why I want the Knicks to go forward is I want to see the fans go back and forth between Boston and
Yeah,
New York.
yeah. I mean,
Spike Lee down there on the court.
yeah, that's a 100-year rivalry. Fat Joe down there on the court. Fat
Yeah.
Joe's the only real Knicks fan, by the way. That's a celebrity.
Mm.
But the thing with the Knicks is they got to get healthy. They got to get OG back. They got to get Brunson to where he's close to 100%. I don't know if Mitchell Robinson will be back, but he'd be a huge pace because
Yeah.
Jericho Sims is just not cutting it on the basketball court. I saw Alec Burks play playoff basketball a few nights ago, and I was like, what is going on? But Ward, out west, we saw the Thunder tied up last night at 2-2 against the Mavericks. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was incredible. I saw a stat, Ward, that if you took free throws out, I don't think that Lucas scored over 20 points without free throws in this
Wow.
entire playoff series, which is crazy. I think he's averaging close to 5 turnovers a game. Again, one of the best players in the league, but Thunder are making it tough on him and
Yeah.
able to tie it up last night.
How'd Kyrie play?
Kyrie's been awesome the entire series.
Yeah.
They don't I don't know if there's many people in America that can guard him, but I know
Yeah.
OKC doesn't have a guy that can do it.
Yeah. It's very cool for me to see. It's just, this OKC team is so young. And that SGA guy, I watched him. I didn't watch him play. I watched the highlights this morning on ESPN. That SGA guy is so good, man. The way he just handles the ball, you just can't. It's hard. You talk about hard to guard Kyrie. Try to guard that guy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do. It's an interesting series, man. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
Well, to me, this is a series that we need to get used to because
Yeah.
Doncic and SGA are two of the top 3 players in the league. If you look
No,
at
and I
MVP
don't think
voting.
they're going anywhere.
Yeah, Ward, where did SGA go to college?
He's not American, so I don't know.
What's Kentucky?
He went to Kentucky.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. They usually say
Where's he from?
it's from Ontario, Canada.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why,
Uh,
man. He's not American. I didn't know.
there you go. But we also see T Wolves, Nuggets. Last episode, man, we were talking if the T Wolves could sweep the Nuggets, if the Nuggets had any chance, they go back to Minnesota and win 2 games on the road. Um, what do you think? In terms of this series, do you think the Nuggets can go? I've heard Nuggets in 6 now. The momentum has definitely shifted back as we go back to Denver. Anthony Edwards has still been incredible. Cat not as good. So
Yeah.
it's more of the other guys when it comes to the T Wolves, and the role players for the Nuggets are finally starting to come to play.
Yeah, dude. Damn, Anthony Edwards was talking about, not to get excited. We're up 2-0, but the Nuggets are going to punch us back. They damn sure punch you back. So how are you going to answer? Anthony Edwards is getting all these Jordan comparisons. Like, he's had one good playoff run. Yeah, we'll see what he's made of here because this Nuggets team is proven. Jamal Murray, Jokic, they're good ball players. So this is when, big time players make big time plays in big time games. It's time to step up and show what you're made of.
Yeah, and the Nuggets have been here before. The
Yeah.
Nuggets, during the COVID season in the bubble, came back from 3-1 deficits. They've won back-to-back championships. So I mean,
Yeah.
I now that we're tied up, I have a bad tendency in the NBA of swaying. I don't get the cadence as much of the playoff series because they're so far apart. When a team goes on the road and wins the first 2 games, it's like there's no way the Nuggets can come back. It's all tied up now, so we'll
Yep.
see. But having 3 series tied at 2-2 is so fun. I
Yep.
know that a lot of these games have been blowouts, but to not have
Oh, I
you
know.
know three sweeps and then one series go to 7, it's awesome to have a competitive series again, which feels like it's just now starting to come back. But yeah, we will be doing hopefully a state your case next week
Yeah.
on who we think is going to win the title.
Yeah.
We'll each pick a team and give you guys a case similar to what we did with the Miami Hurricanes and OSU thing.
Cam, you
Um,
want the East or the West? You
we'll
can take first
we'll,
pick.
we'll talk about probably the West.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll take it.
I'll,
I'll take the Celtics then. You take the
yeah,
Nuggets.
yeah, I'll take whoever. I don't know
Okay.
who. I might be picking between the Nuggets and OKC to be honest, because I think OKC is awesome.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
take I'll take the Celtics.
there we go. But Ward, real quick, last thing on basketball, I believe. It was announced yesterday. Arkansas and Kentucky in basketball will be playing one time next season. John Calipari will make his return to
Oh, so
Rupp
he's coming
Arena.
back.
Yep. That's got to be the hardest ticket in college basketball to get, besides Carolina at Duke.
I wonder
Um,
what do you think the cheapest ticket to that game is going to be?
you won't be able to get in the door for less than probably $250.
Oh, it'll be more than that, dude.
I don't know. There's a lot of seats in Rupp Arena.
Carolina Duke ticket, dude. Carolina Duke tickets are down a grand, $900. It'll be more than that. I
Yeah,
guarantee
but
you. I say I would set it at 600.
to get in the upper level of Rupp, that would
I
be
don't know how
crazy.
big Rupp is, but it's the biggest game. It's the biggest home game Kentucky will have in the last couple of years. So yeah, I would
Oh yeah,
assume
for
so.
sure. Um, if it's $600, that'll be crazy. I mean, there's 23,000 seats in Rupp, so the Mitch Barnhart will be a happy man if it gets up to six
Yeah.
hundred dollars a seat. But yeah, super excited to that. Do you think, Ward? Do you think Cal gets booed in Rupp?
Well, no shit, he'll get booed in Rupp.
Well, there's
Kind of hang y'all out to dry. Hell yeah, they'll boo him.
I would boo him. There's some people that are saying that they'll cheer him.
Yeah, no, they're gonna
That's
boo. They're gonna
that's
boo the hell out of
goofy,
him.
dude. If another coach is coming to your building, you do not cheer that man. I don't care who
Yeah,
it is. We didn't cheer Patino when he came back. So I don't think we cheer. I would boo
it's not
Calipari.
like he left on good terms either. He didn't leave on good terms at
Yeah, I
all.
mean he went for the backstory. He went to Arkansas to try to renegotiate a new contract with Kentucky, and Mitch Barnhart was like, "Dude, kick rocks. Like we wanted to fire you anyway."
Yeah,
So there, I mean, there was there were some whispers that Cal was even trying to say that he would take a pay cut to come back to Kentucky once it was clear that we weren't going to renegotiate. So he left on weird terms, to say
yeah.
the least. Um, Ward, betting wise, for all our sports bettors out there, this is a big story to follow. North Carolina lawmakers are kind of starting to have some rumblings, and this might go to a vote soon of outlawing player props in college sports. So, points, rebounds, yards, touchdowns, all that stuff. Um, Making that illegal to where you can't do prop bets on college sports. What are your thoughts? Do you think it'll go through, and how much of that, how much do you bet on player props in college? Will that
I
make an effect on you?
I just wonder why are they worried about like the players betting on themselves or
So they say that it opens up more so for players to point shave, to
because
get
I
involved
mean you
in
could
that.
do it in college basketball. Like you could go and bet DJ Burns is over under during March Madness.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's legal now. Like you
Yeah.
can do it, but they're talking about, taking it away. Which
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's like 6 or 7 states that have sports betting legal that you can't do college sports prop bets.
Interesting. I think it could possibly have something to do with maybe when they see when there's a case of it, which it's going to happen. Somebody's going to do it. It's not. They're never going to get proven, but somebody's going to port or point shave. But I think when something like that happens is when they'll have the conversation. But I don't know, Cam. I really don't know. I'm personally not that big of a prop bettor. I know you're a lot bigger of a prop bettor than I am. So I'm curious to see what happens. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would hate it for me, like you said. Like that's one of my.
Yeah, that's how
It's a
you
lot
make your
easier to
money.
a lot easier to make money doing that than getting point spreads. But that, and I also heard like they don't want college kids to have to deal with the hateful messages of like,
Oh yeah.
you
Oh
sold my
yeah.
parlay, all that stuff. But I'll say these kids aren't like these kids are getting paid. Like these
Oh
kids are getting
yeah.
paid NIL deals. Like they're professionals now. Like if they want to play in the pros, like that's what they're gonna have to deal with. So that
Oh
should
yeah.
not be the reason for it. But let us know what you guys think. I know we have a lot of sports bettors that follow this show, so college prop bets are where I make a lot of money. So
Yep.
I'm against it. But Ward, have you seen the New York Ireland portal that just came about a couple days ago?
No.
So they've built in, I think it's Times Square in New York, and then somewhere in Ireland, and one of the downtowns, I think Dublin. They have two portals. It's like FaceTime. So you
Mm-hmm.
can walk up to the portal and you can see what's going on in Dublin at that location. The people in Dublin can see what's going on in New York at that location. So you can you can't talk, like there's no sound, but you can go on your
Yeah.
phone, type something and show it to the camera or whatever, and just wave at people. But it got shut down today because yesterday a TikTok star in New York flashed it to the people in Ireland, flashed her.
No.
So they've shut it down temporarily. But one, how cool is it that now we have portals between different countries? But two, you knew it was going to happen. You knew somebody was going to do something to get it shut down.
I'll tell you what, some 10-year-old kid, 11-year-old kid in Ireland, some dude was walking with his mom. He was happy as hell, boy. I can tell you that. I know we all remember the time where we saw our first pair of knockers and the boys got excited. But anyway, yeah, those very interesting and yeah, pretty
Ward,
cool.
tickets to Dublin only $45 right now, by the way. But no, I thought it was cool. I had this in here before the story broke about the young lady flashing the poor people in Dublin. But yeah, I just how cool is technology, and then
Yeah,
obviously somebody's going to come by and ruin it.
yeah.
But real quick to inform the masses, if anybody remembers Glenn Big Baby Davis, he played for the Celtics for a long time, the Magic for a long time. He's been sentenced to 3 years in prison, Ward, for insurance fraud against the NBA's player insurance policy. Um, he was going to doctors' offices that he didn't need and then getting the cash. And we don't need to get into specifics, but what a guy who
I wonder how he got caught, one, and two, I wonder how long this was going on for.
well, this has been like a big scheme. Like this is the second time I've seen that it's come up. I know like Sebastian Telfair was caught up in it a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
This isn't the first time it's happened. I think this is the first time somebody's went to federal prison over it.
Yeah.
Uh, but like a guy in Big Baby Davis has been on First Favorite and forgotten, and
Yeah.
now he's going to prison for 3 years
I'll tell
for.
you, if the longest yard comes out with a basketball team, I will recruit that man on your team because just give him the ball down low, he will score.
Well, he had a hilarious quote too. He said, you know what, man, I'm not even mad. I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life. And if you haven't
Yeah.
seen Big Baby Davis, he looks like an offensive lineman now.
Oh yeah, he's
But
a big boy.
he goes, I swear, man, the only way to keep me from eating a cheeseburger is to put me in prison.
Yeah.
He said, I swear I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life. So I thought
Yeah.
at least he has good spirits about it, which I
Let's
guess
see
if
the
you're
before and afters.
yeah, I guess when you're a multimillionaire, prison
Yeah.
isn't as big of a deal to you. But Ward, pet peeve of the week, and then we'll get out of here for everybody. Go ahead and tell us what your pet peeve of the week is.
Pet peeve of the week, Cam, it's starting to get a little warm outside. So when it's warm, there's AC. And there's nothing that bothers me more but when people blast their AC and have their windows down. It's like, it's like you got to have one or the other, Cam. You can't blast your
Yeah.
AC and have the windows down. It just doesn't make sense. It's a waste of money. It's like, it's like having a house divided flag in your front yard between Carolina and state. Fucking freaking choose one, just make your decision up. That's how I look at it with AC and windows.
Yeah, I get it, man. I remember I once did this with my dad when I was a very young fellow, and he smacked my hand and he said, "Cam, we ain't paying to cool
Yeah,
down the rest of the world." He's like, "You either roll your window down or have your AC on." So
exactly.
turned it off. Speaking of AC, our AC is down at our house right now. It
Oh
went down
God,
the Friday before everybody came over to our house. So I've got box fans and I've got a cooler full of ice.
brother,
That's
they
just
got a company in Raleigh called Six and Fix, and they fix your AC. It's you call before 6 o'clock, they will get it fixed that same day. You
do they
need to
come to
call Six and
Charlotte?
Fix for the right price. They might.
Yeah, I might have to make that phone call.
Yeah.
But my pet peeve of the week, Ward, and I've seen this more so the past couple of years, but basketball players wearing two different shoes.
Mhm.
I know Reggie Jackson does it. I know Hunter Dickinson did it for Kansas last year. Wearing two different colored shoes, I don't care if they're the same style, but two different colored shoes is so goofy to me. Like, you're
Yeah.
a grown man. Why are you wearing two different shoes? I don't know
Yeah.
why it bothers me. You guys know uniform stuff bothers me. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves is wearing two different colored shoes. I
Yeah.
don't get it. You look goofy when you do it. And you don't have good friends if they let you do it.
Couldn't agree more, Cam. Couldn't agree more.
But yeah, as we get out of here, that was episode 55. Ward, if you don't have anything else, we'll go ahead and close it out, big dog.
That's it for me, man. Hell of a podcast, Cam. To our listeners, thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you guys for supporting us through the thick and thin. And I'm excited to come back with y'all next week for episode 56.
For sure. That was episode 55. I want to remind you guys, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, and TikTok at Fat Katz Pod. We appreciate all you guys. And Ward, pleasure as always, my friend.
Pleasure as always, brother. Peace.
Peace.